Well, I just got a package in from SR Moto. My latest purchase came in quick, which I'm very happy. They were quick to deliver, and I always give a shout out to a company who's very quick and easy to work with, and so far they've been very good. Ordered a few things from them. This is the latest. It's my skid plate and radiator guard from Flatland Racing. Couldn't be more happy. It looks great. Very well put together. Didn't take them out of the packages yet because I didn't want to lose everything on the way over here, and also show you how they're packaged very simplistically, nothing special. But these came as a pair from the company. They sold them together, and so they're about $150. Not too bad. The skid plate numbers, in case you just want them individually, the 2445 skid plate goes for the 08 to 2015 Yamaha WR250R and the X. So if you have a supermoto, that'll fit it just fine, as well as the radiator guard, which is the 1240 radiator guard for, again, the same thing. These look great, as I said. They're pretty thick too. Not as thick as the ones I had on my quad, but I don't think I'm going to have any problems with these. These are very tough. They look very good, very sturdy, very well built, and I really couldn't find anything heavier than that. And first I gotta get rid of these and the plastics on the side. We'll do that off camera just because I don't bother to waste your time showing you, because it's very simple to do and anybody doesn't need to see that part. But yeah, these are just there to make you feel better, because they ain't gonna do jack squat when you hit something. So we're gonna get rid of that and get that on there, and we'll show you how it goes, how easy it is to put these two things on there. And if you have any questions about it, this should answer everything. All right, I'm gonna just take the plastics off now, and I'll get right back to you. Alright, we're going to be throwing the skid plate on right now. It fits up nicely. Nothing special there to do it. It just goes on nicely like that. Covers everything pretty good. Yeah, you have to remove your water wings to put it on. So sad to see those go. Actually, it actually started wrecking my frame a little bit there. Something got stuck between it, so I had to touch it up a little bit there. But nothing major. I am going to use a small dab of thread locker on these screws. Not probably recommended. Maybe it is. I don't know. I never talked to anybody about this, but I have lost bolts on skid plates before because of neglect of my own to recheck, which you always should anyways. But with me, I forget, and that's not a good thing, but I do. And I have unfortunately lost a skid plate once because I forgot to check my bolts. So I'm going to put a little bit of thread locker on there. No big deal. It's easy to get them apart. At least I don't have a problem doing it. But if you don't like them like that, don't worry about it. Now I'm just going to see how this lines up. I'm not going to put the thread locker on just yet. Just going to see where everything lines up and get my hole started, and then we'll just take them out one by one and put a little dab on there. That looks pretty good, I think. Yeah, that covers up nicely, actually. Not easy to start these with your fingers, actually. Kind of a pain in the butt. It is a 6mm Allen, if you don't have one. 5/32 seems to fit really well as well. But these are Allen. Just get that on there. These do fit kind of tight, so these are not bolts that were used. They're probably full of dirt. I probably should have cleaned it a little better, but that's me, so prepared. Not in the hole yet. Get in the hole. Sorry if this looks retarded, but just there. There we are. That's got to be it right there. There we go. Just get enough there to hold it on there. Yeah, these holes are painted, actually. Not too bad. And underneath, we'll just see how everything fits before we pin it all in there. Yeah. No problem finding that one. It's lined up perfectly. And that one there. Sorry, I got a bad angle, I know. Yeah, fits perfectly right where it's supposed to. Just hand tight everything, make sure we got everything lined up where it's supposed to. It's gonna fit it right up in there, pretty tight actually. Some people say use a little rubber spacer. I might go see if I can find something for that. I just want to make sure everything is gonna fit nicely, and it is gonna look good. No major problems with that. I cut plenty of clearance on the sides, but everything's nice and close, and it covers pretty much everything I'd want it to. Not bad at all. It look good, it fits up like they say, and I'm very happy with that, and the rest is just minor details. So I'm gonna go see if I can do that, and I'll get it all bolted up and tightened down, and we'll see the final position of that, and I'll have this off when I come back. Alright, I did the final securing of the skid plate on there. I just put it on there. I didn't bother putting any insulators on there. It fit pretty tight up there. I think it'll be alright. As I said, I'd have all the side off. It's pretty easy to do. Just make sure when you're taking the side cover off, you remember there's a notch right here that slides right onto here. So once you get it popped off of here, slide it forward. Don't try to yank it off, because you will break that tab probably and hate yourself for doing it. But we did all right on that. Just something I wanted to say. There's a bolt in here you have to take off. It's nice to have a ratchet style wrench to get in here, because it's very tight and not that easy to get to. This bolt is only holding the plastic shroud on. That does not get reused. So you're getting rid of this plastic piece of junk here. You do not need it. So that's fine with me. I don't care. Wasn't doing squat anyway. So this will be eliminated momentarily. Of course, you know, it's funny. They use 8mm everywhere else, 10mm here for this little plastic shroud. I don't know why. Whatever. That's the way they thought about it. I guess that's the way they did it. I think everything would be the same over here, but it's not. It's hard to get in there. It's like ready to come out. It's probably the worst part of this whole entire install. Trying to get this one little bolt out of here, which I don't even need to have in there anymore. It's not even gonna stay. For crying out loud. Alright, I think I got it. Man, this is not easy to get to. God. I'll get you, you little son of a... There we go. I get 2 fingers in there. I guess that's the way you got to do it. Here we go. Alright. Not to make this boring for you, but I figured this was kind of the thing you wanted to see right here. How hard is it to get this in there? Oh, there's a little insulator. I'll put that aside, because this, it's not needed. This should come off. I think it's another spot. Where else is this attached? Right there. That's what I need to remove. And that one's a little easier to get to. I had a wrench set up already. I thought, here we go. Let's see. This is 10 here. And everything's metrics on these pretty much, but if you don't have a metric set by now, I think there's probably one in the toolkit, but you should have at least some metric tools in your house by now. This is in the 60s. Alright, here we go. There goes. Oh crap. It's that insulator again. I'll find it later. So that's there. That's coming out. Pretty much just gonna pop this whole thing right out of here. There's a wires hitched right to that right there, so just be careful. It is open. It's just gotta pop it out there. Oh, come on. Well, that is in there pretty darn good. My fingers keep slipping. I don't want to yank on it too hard, but the shroud is the worst part of this whole thing. Damn. Come on, don't yank on it. Just be nice about it. Come on. I will cut that. I don't care. Damn you. Oh, I've got cutters here somewhere. Box is so organized. Alright, to the second part. Alright, we gotta go over here for that. Not the wire I'm cutting. I am cutting the plastic, not the wire. Just this little piece right here. Snip it, snip it. There we go. I didn't even need to cut it, just got to bend it over. All right, that works out fine, and the whole thing comes out. Yay! That gets removed, everything like so. Yay. Didn't even have to break anything. It's amazing. All right, what size are those? Yeah, this is the bracket. Yeah, this is the bracket I need to take off right here. And that is, yes sir, 10 millimeter. Sorry, I'm kind of winging it here. I didn't really look at the instructions until I started recording. Probably a bad idea, but it doesn't really matter. You're learning as I go. There is a longer bolt for the other piece. Just gonna make sure I put it in the right spot. Alright. Gotta get that out of there. Which I believe is one of these. I already have that right here. Yep, that'll fit it. Alright, so you're going to remove this here. And we're going to get rid of that. Alright. Alright, it's depicted a little funny, but this is how it's going to sit. I don't have it bolted up, but you're going to see it's going to sit right on the grommet on both sides, and it's going to fit just like this, with this kind of just almost flush like that. That's how it's supposed to fit. There's no other way it's going to fit. You notice it sits somewhat close here. It's not going to go any tighter. You don't want it really up against that, but it'll fit nice. Now, what you're going to do is take this bolt here, not the longer one with the shank. It's going to be this one. It's going to go right in the bottom. And this is going to be a pain in the butt to get to, but you can get to it. Just make sure you line up all your stuff here as best you can before you. Here we go. And I had it sit nicely too. And you're going to want to get a long extension for this. But just start it going in the hole there. And just loosely get it going. And let me get a longer extension here. Actually, this one might just make it. Maybe it will. It does. Haha. Seems like I knew what I was doing. Just get that going. There we go. It's a little off there. Just snug it, just a hair. All right, now get the top nut going here, which is, now we're off here, dang it. There we go, that's where it's supposed to be. You're gonna get the same nut you came off from the start, which is this one, and you're just gonna put it up here, which is a little easier to get to, but still a pain, because it's deep in there. I recommend taking it like this, get it tucked against there, and then just kind of guide it with the socket with your finger on it, and then boom. Don't force it. It should just go on there nicely. There we go. Snug that up. Now we're going to get the spacer and the long bolt, which they call the I think it's a 6 millimeter by 40 hex. And it's going to slide over in here like this with this. Don't forget to pick up your bracket there for the hold your water line in place. This is just going to thread right in there. Push that way then. Perfect. We're right where we want to be. That fan wire should go through this. There's a little loop in the back. Just make sure it stayed put. It feels good right there. And should be pretty secure. Get the rest of these bolts tied down. Yeah. Perfect. Now we're just going to tighten up the rest of these things and button it all back up. Alright, we're all back together, and it looks good. I want to show you a few things though. The radiator guard is a little bit of a pain to put together because it's very tight in there, and they're not going to be perfect. At least I've never really met anybody who can bend something this tight all the time, every time, and be perfect. So it is a little bit, you know, tight in here. You can see right here where it's right up against the side there, which and it's very tight in here too, but it's going to be like that. I don't see anything else to be really awful about it. It is just a pain to get in there and adjust. There's also one thing that's not really well depicted in the instructions. You sit on this side of the grommet. It doesn't fit any tighter to this side. This is as tight as it gets, and so this is where it fits on the grommet. You're not going to make up that 1/4 inch. That grommet fits on both sides of the radiator. The reason why I say that, in the directions it says remove radiator and slip around. That doesn't work that way. It's not how it fits. It can't slide around. It won't fit any further this way. So it fits in there, it makes it to the other side. All the hardware fits right. It lines up with the bolts up and down perfectly, but it is tight in here. It does a little bit. The radiator does kind of, just the tab, not the radiator itself, but that's that separate little bracket right in here. That does kind of rub a little bit on one of these parts. It doesn't fit. It doesn't really have any adjustment to it up and down. That's kind of the way it fits. Again, they're not going to be perfect. They probably make these things straight through a press and a bender, and it's never going to be perfect, especially if they're handmade. They're just, the dies change. Any kind of production of anything is going to have its little tweaks and differences, so you're never going to get one that's exactly the same, but it did fit and it works well, and it's going to be a hell of a lot stronger than what was there, especially that plastic. It's kind of deceiving, but it really won't really stop much when something gets in there. You hit something pretty hard. But the crash plate worked perfectly. Couldn't be more happy with the way that fit. And quite lovely too. I thought it was going to be a lot bigger than that. For some reason, it just appeared in the picture to be big, and it just fits perfectly. Tucks in there. It's not obstructing anything. It actually looks kind of nice on there too, I think. So I didn't insulate it. I just left it flat the way we went in the directions. I don't find to be anything wrong with that. It might make some noise, but I don't have a problem with it. I was going to put some double-sided tape along the frame, kind of give it a little insulator to it and be kind of stuck there, but I decided not to because the stuff I have wasn't that great, and it kind of has a foam to it. I don't like having anything that can maybe hold moisture. This is going to be in some mud. It's going to get in there. It's going to possibly hold the grime in there, and this is a metal subframe here, so I don't want anything really rubbing on it like that. I know this is on there, but I did spray some bed liner type stuff just on the frame a little bit, right where that touches. Hopefully that'll give it a little bit, but I don't want moisture to be stuck there, and I fear that might actually happen, and we might come up with something a little different for that later. But it's on there, it looks good, and it's fitting nice, and not to keep jibber jabbering about it, but for the most part we are done here, and I'm happy I have them, because I'll sure as hell know the original stuff on here was not going to handle any kind of real abuse, and for the money, you can't beat it. The money, it was, $150 for the two, and a little less than that actually, but it was a really good buy, I think, for the bike, and it really makes you have that much more confidence when you go out and ride. And if you're going to have any kind of accident, you're going to want to have something to protect the vital parts, especially the water pump. That was my main concern. I hit some pretty gnarly rocks around here. They don't call it the Granite State up that way where I'll be riding for nothing. There's a lot of rocks, and a lot of crap will hit this thing, so we'll see how it holds up later on. But that's the install, and hopefully that gives you a little insight into what you're going to be involved with when you have to put it together. Happy riding, and thanks for watching.